Oh, I didn't even fix my head yet. He was gonna let me do this with my head looking like that.
I don't know.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know I didn't really promise this video, but I told you guys I was gonna film this video like 3 months ago, or 3 weeks ago. But time gets by and everyone's busy. But I finally got my dad here. Literally his last day. He came to the Bay when I came back home. So this is his last day in town. We're taking a break from my niece's birthday party to come film this for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. I asked a bunch of you on my Instagram to ask me some questions. I did a Q&A with my mom, which you all really liked. So I decided to bring my dad on. I got a ton of questions. I don't know how many you think are here.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Too many.
Also, in case you don't know, he's very used to being, I don't know, not on camera, but also like for his job, he's a color analyst for the Hornets. So he's very used to being on camera and being recorded and filmed and stuff like that. So he definitely has his...
I'm camera friendly.
Yeah, he has his camera friendly voice on. Anyways.
That little red light does not bother me.
Wait, how long have you been doing it?
11 years.
It's been 11 years?
How about that? 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick, I think I'm gonna do 10 just for the sake of time. If it goes well, then I'll bring him back on for more. Maybe we'll get more specific or whatever. But this first question, there's a lot of like, who is your favorite child type of thing, which you don't have to answer that.
That's easy.
Depending on who you're talking to, right? But one of the questions which I think is really interesting and kind of not who is your favorite, but which child do you feel is the closest to your personality and who is the total opposite?
Oh, that's easy. Seth is definitely the closest to my personality. He's in a bubble right now. I can easily go to the bubble and him and I could be just fine in the bubble. He's got golf, basketball, and fishing. What else do you want? Food, we'll get by. But he's definitely like me, quiet. We could sit for hours in a room and not say anything, watch TV and be perfectly fine. Maybe a kind of an introvert.
Yeah. It depends on who you're around though, too.
Yeah, absolutely. But Seth is definitely like me. I think you're a mix of both of us. Stefan is probably the opposite of me. He's happy all the time. And always trying to please whoever he's around, wife, kids, me, you, whoever. I'm like, all right, if you need something, ask me, but other than that, take care of yourself.
Yeah. Here comes Quavo. Hi,
You knew it was him, you could tell by his walk. Hey, Quavo.
Quavo.
What's up, buddy?
And here comes Bella. We've got all the dogs in here. Jackie wants to know, this is a little asterisk question. How happy are you to be grandma's favorite child?
That's my sister. I've always been her favorite child. I have 4 older sisters. I'm the only boy. I'm the youngest. That was, without a doubt, her favorite. I always knew that. It's not new news. So very happy.
You have to.
But I still am. I haven't done anything to change that. That's the big thing.
You have to be a favorite if you're the only person that's a boy. What is literally the same question that's right next to each other by 2 different people. What was your favorite memory from playing in the NBA? If you can narrow it down to one.
Probably winning 6th Man of the Year award.
That was the year I was born too.
Yeah, 94.
Great year.
Also, the many relationships and friendships that I still have from my teammates. Hit a couple game winners, one against Golden State back in the day. But just the relationships, the friendships that I developed and still have.
Okay. What were your thoughts when I first started dating Damien? Wait. Let's cut that into 2 sections. I saw it in here somewhere, but someone asked, how did you approach dating with me compared to like my brothers?
Oh, I wanted to know everything about whoever you were dating or talking to. And I think you met Damien out here in the Bay, and I was like, who is this guy? I should meet him. Why didn't I know about it? But once I met him, I knew he was a cool guy. Didn't know that it would turn into marriage, but I knew that he was fun to be around. You liked being around him, and he made you happy. That's all I was worried about.
Funny story, when Damien had asked my parents if he could marry me, it was when we had gone back to, I never had a 5th year senior night, or I never had a senior night at Elon because my 5th year got cut short, and so I went back to have like just the annual, oh God,
You got another dog outside that.
So my roamer, Nobu, I have to watch him always.
He's looking for the other two, probably.
Probably. So I went back to Elon, and Damien came with me so I could have like my senior ceremony night, and that's when he decided to ask my parents if he could marry me. And I remember we had walked, me and my mom had went to go to the restaurant first, and then I guess you and Damien came afterwards.
Well, after the senior night, we're outside of the building and we're waiting on you. And he goes, "Pops, hey, can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Sure, let's go outside." I thought he was going to ask me a basketball question. And he gets in this spiel how much he loves you and his daughter and respects her. And I want to ask if it's okay if I ask you to marry me. I went, "What?" It shocked me. I said, "Let me think about it, talk to your mom. We'll talk about it some more tomorrow." And then we get up, you and your mom go shopping, Damien and I, we have lunch, and he talks, and I'm like, "Dude, I need to go back, think about it, pray about it." And I was overwhelmed that the week went on, and next thing I know, I'm getting a call from Steph. He goes, "Hey, Pops, you got Damien on ice?" I went, "Oh my gosh, man." So I called back and said, "Yeah, you're good, man."
I just know, I'm surprised that he played it off that well for a week, because I remember going to Buffalo Wild Wings and he was acting weird, and we literally, Damien and I got in a fight not a fight, but like I was pushing eyes at him and just having an attitude towards him because he was acting so funny, and I kept asking him, like, "Why are you acting like this? Like, what's wrong with you?" He's like, "Nothing's wrong with me." But I knew that there was something wrong. I didn't know what it was, but I'm just like, my intuition was so good because I knew that there was something wrong, and he wasn't telling me because he couldn't tell me. But yeah, I'm surprised though, after that he was able to function for a week.
Yeah, I called and smoothed it over. Yeah, he was good.
Why did you stay at why did you play for the Hornets for as long as you did?
Because I was making some shots. First 2 years in the league, first with Utah, then with Cleveland. In my third year, my third team was in Charlotte. And I started having kids. I go, "Man, I got to figure out how to make a career and stay in this league." Broke my wrist very first practice of the Hornets. Fought through that, missed a couple of months of first season. Then I got in and started making some shots. So very fortunate to play 10 years in one city without being an all-star or superstar. That's rarely happens with free agency and everything. But I was able to stay there. Always involved in trade rumors, so much so that the general manager called me one night at the trade deadline to tell me I didn't get traded. That's how big all the trade rumors were. But to be able to raise your family staying at one place for 10 years in the NBA without being a Steph Curry or superstars is pretty remarkable. So
you never hear of it. You think of like Lou, like if you think of all the players who are six men, like Lou Will.
Yeah.
Was Jamal Crawford at one
Absolutely,
point?
Yeah.
And the longest they've stayed in. Lou Will was there for a little while.
Yeah, but six men are very important.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the extension of starters. It's always been important to have that guy come off the bench and change the game. I always question, what I would have done had I entered free agency, but I always signed an extension to stay there because the kids were there. I wanted you guys in a stable place, so that's why.
I mean, his last year was in Toronto, or his last 2 years. Sorry, we're in
3 years.
You were in Toronto 3 years. We're in Toronto, and we moved there with him the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, the two places I remember the most, obviously, because I was born in '94, which he was still in Charlotte, and then you went from Charlotte to Toronto, right?
To Milwaukee.
And I remember going, being in Milwaukee for a little while, but Charlotte and Toronto were definitely my favorite places that, I don't know if it's just because I remember them or what, but like, obviously Charlotte is always going to be home, but something about Toronto, like I've always said I wanted to go live back there. I wanted to go to university there at one point, but then, because they have a really good psychology program up at Toronto U, and but then volleyball became a factor, so like I couldn't do it, but I really enjoyed like living in those places that he played.
Toronto's a great city.
How did you balance attending / supporting all your kids in sports / interests?
Well, of course, in the NBA, 8-9 months out of the year, you got to be wrapped up in your job. But once that season's over, you have all the time in the world spending your family. So in the off season, I tried to make up for everything I missed then with any kind of sporting activities you guys are involved in. I tried to coach, definitely be around, be a part of. So I sacrificed a lot playing in the NBA, but tried to make up for it in the off season, and just tried to be present. Make sure when I was home and when I was able to go to your events that I was present. I paid attention. I wasn't on my phone. Try to give you all of my attention and support then. So
I mean, back then you didn't really have like iPhones and stuff to really have the whole world at your fingertips.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Sorry. I remember the Nest. Is it Nextel?
Nextel.
The Nextel. Yeah, I remember that phone with the little chart.
Nextel. Yeah.
You had a deal?
I did. Yeah.
You had
a Nextel
an endorsement by Nextel?
Absolutely.
Wow. I did not know that. You were the original influencer.
Local, yeah. How about that?
G influencer. And then I also want to note, like, after he finished playing, you stopped playing when I was 7. Which is a really early age for me anyways, but I rarely remember like not having my dad around that much, which is a testament to like you still being able to do your job, which is very demanding. Like I'm living that life now with Damien, like just seeing how demanding his job is from a wife standpoint. So, and not being 7 years old when going through that. So I rarely remember a time where he wasn't around. And then even after he retired, like, yeah, he coached Stefan and Seth's teams. He came to my volleyball games. So it was, even though me and my mom spent most of the time together because I had like travel volleyball, and that was a career in itself, trying to get to every single tournament, but I still remember him being around and stuff like that.
I was the automatic judge at your volleyball matches, the line judge.
Yes, my high school matches. Yeah. Oh my gosh, he was a line ref. Wait,
every time Dell's gonna be there, he can do it.
You were the line judge, and Julia something, her dad was the scorekeeper. I remember that. That's really funny. Oh, a lot of people want to know how you felt when I decided not to play basketball.
Oh, I remember that conversation.
You can also listen to the podcast, Raising Fame. What's up, guys? I'm just here editing, and I wanted to insert this clip because I didn't say anything about it in the video itself. But just like I mentioned here, my parents have a really, really good podcast called Raising Fame, and it talks about a majority of the episodes are them going to talk to highly acclaimed athletes' parents, so all like the really famous athletes and the ones that you definitely know in every type of sport: football, basketball, tennis, soccer, gymnastics, like any type of sport you can think of. They've talked to the parents of those athletes. So if you are a parent or just really curious on how my parents and other parents of athletes have raised their kids, I would 100% would go say check out the Raising Fame podcast. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below so that it's easy for you to check out if you want to. But they go really in depth. The first 3 episodes actually I think it's 2 or 3 episodes, I can't remember which one, but they are specifically just my parents talking about how they raised me and my brothers. So if you want, like I said, more information and more in-depth information about that, then you can go check out that podcast. But we'll get back to the regular video.
Remember that you coming in and said, "Dad, can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, babe, what?" I don't think I want to play basketball anymore. I think you thought it was going to be a big hurt to me or something. I'm like, that's fine. At that point, she had a really good shot. She could have definitely played, definitely in high school level, and I think you could have played at the college level as you continue to work. But I had no problem with that.
I think at the end of the day, you're just happy you didn't have to pay for it.
Volleyball is a lot more demanding, I think, than basketball.
I mean,
because in your senior year, you still played club volleyball.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So I had no problem with that. Whatever you want to do, and as long as you were happy, that's fine. All right, no problem.
I think as soon as I had told him, or like made the decision, not just told him, but made the decision to continue going with volleyball instead of basketball, I don't know if it was a rumor or if it's true, but somebody told me that because it was during high school basketball season, and someone told me that the next game that we had, Virginia Tech, came to watch this girl named Gigi Bailey, who was really good, and then they came to watch me too, and I just wasn't there because I had quit at the time. But I'm like, I don't know. I vividly remember someone telling me that. I don't know if they were just trying to like
That's because
scare me or.
Steph or Seth didn't get the text.
Yeah.
We gotta get somebody.
To get one of the Currys there.
But I was fine with that because I'm like, I don't know anything about volleyball, so I could pass you off to your mom.
Yeah.
That sport, other than keeping lines and scores.
It was so cool though, because like even in college, I was able to play at Virginia Tech because we would play.
Right.
Preseason, I think it's called. We played preseason game. What's Virginia Tech's Coliseum called?
Castle Coliseum.
Castle, yeah. We would play there. I think I played there three or four times my whole college career. And so if you've been there before, you know, like there's my dad's huge face up in the rafters, which was really cool to see. So I was still able to kind of experience where both my parents played their sports at, so that was really cool. I think someone asked Mom this too, but it was cool to get your view. Who got in the most trouble as a kid?
Seth.
Really?
Yeah. You threw your temper tantrums too, but I passed it off to your mom. You could do whatever you want.
But for you, it was Seth.
And nothing major, but he was just like me, the little mischievous one. See how far he could go before he got in trouble. I didn't mind that. It's part of life, part of growing up. Stretch it. Just don't cross the line.
Very true.
By the way, who'd your mom say was?
Me.
You? Yeah.
Yeah, I did like minor things, like normal things that kids, like little kids do, like throw tantrums and stuff. But when I got a certain age, I went through a little rebellious stage. I wasn't trying to be rebellious, but that phase, that was like maybe a 2-year phase. I think I said this in the video. I got my last spanking at 16, which was really embarrassing.
That wasn't me.
No, not by you, by my mom. No. I think the only time that you did spank me was when Mom would make you because she was tired of having to do it to me. And she thought that it would make a difference.
Do they spank anymore? I don't think anybody spanks anymore.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I got spankings all till I was 16 years old, and I'm perfectly fine, okay?
Man, you get a charge for spanking now.
It's crazy. Yeah. My kids will get a little tap here and there. This is a question. We've never really talked about this, but did you have to learn how to help with my anxiety, or have you learned more about my anxiety the more I'm open?
I watch your posts, and I learned a lot about that, and a lot about me too. I mean, as an adult, life is hard sometimes, so absolutely, you learn how to deal with anxiety in your own way. So you don't know this, but I watch all your posts, and it really has helped me, and I'm sure it'll help me in the future as well.
Yeah, thanks. I do get like tons of texts, especially from like family members who are even older than me, saying that they appreciate me like talking about it, because I mean, like I say all the time, it's such a normal thing, and like you said, life is hard and it brings so many different types of emotions when you least expect it and all that kinds of stuff. So it's really cool like that. Obviously I have peers who are the same age as me, and like they can relate to what I'm going through, but to know that like family members and stuff are watching my stuff. And
I think you just posted one of the 15 ways to know when you're having anxiety, and I looked at all those, and
you're like, check it.
A couple of them, but
yeah, you never really know. I say all the time, a big part of mental health is education, and realizing what emotions are, what emotions you're feeling, trying to put a description on them. That way you can figure out like how to fix it or make it better.
Depression is a big thing that am I depressed? How am I feeling today? That's a big one. So
it's like how to checking in on yourself daily too, because there's so much going on with work and just everyone else. Like you're trying to make sure everyone else is good, stuff like that, but checking in with yourself is really important as well. I just did a panel last week. One of the other panelists was just like, how are you guys doing? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? And I was like, wow, like I forget to do that even myself, to check in and see like where I'm at on the depression or the anxiety level. So what work have you put in to have good communication with your grown children?
I try to check in at least once a week, just to see how everybody's doing. You're all married now with families, so it's a balance. I try to give you your space, but you're also my kids, so I want to check in and make sure you're okay, make sure your spouses are okay. So it's a living on the other side of the country, on the East Coast. You have to make an effort to do that. If I call you pick up more right away more than any of them. Stefan, if he doesn't pick up, he'll call me back. Seth has gotten better at picking up and call me back. Maybe Callie's helping him do that.
Callie's a godsend.
Yeah, so if I don't get Seth and I don't hear from him for a day or two, I'll hit Callie and she'll respond. So I just have to, make a conscious effort to reach out and see how they're doing. And you guys do a good job of seeing how I'm doing. So it's kind of a mutual thing, but yeah, you just have to, weekly checklist of this is what I need to do, and I don't have to write that down to my kids. I'm like, I got to check it on my kids to make sure everything. But more importantly, let them know that I'm doing okay too.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially like during the pandemic, because a lot of the times we're like, we travel a ton, so we're like, I'm just gonna see him next week, or I'm gonna see him in a little while, or even any family members, I'm just gonna end up seeing them. But during when the pandemic started, it's like, okay, traveling's out of the picture. Yeah. We really only have our phones to communicate with each other. And even like he had, I don't know when you had, he ended up actually having COVID at the beginning of this. Like we went into lockdown, and like maybe a week after we went into lockdown, he let us know that he was having COVID-like symptoms. And it was this whole thing where it's like, okay, this is kind of scary, because first of all, there's a huge question mark on, well, at that point, all we were seeing was like, this person's dying and this person's dying and everybody's dying from it. We're in California, Seth's in Dallas, Dad's in North Carolina. And so like we, as his kids, like we obviously wanted to be there, but we can't, because literally you can't go anywhere. You're trying to make yourself safe too. So that was kind of like a huge reality check as far as how important it is to really check in on each other, because also like we all know our dad, and like he said, like he's not the most talkative person. Like he can obviously he'll talk to you if you talk to him, but like I don't think of my dad and think, chatty Cathy, like that's just not like, that's just not a thing, that's just not who he is. But it's also important to kind of, I don't know, push ourselves to like really talk more and more, because you never know, like you just kind of never know when you won't be able to talk to that person anymore. It's morbid, but it's kind of true.
I hadn't seen you guys since Christmas, before I came out here, so that's a long time. Thank goodness for FaceTime. Because I wanted them to know that I was okay, but I also wanted them to see me, and it's easy to call and talk to someone, but you see them, you can get those expressions. So. Yeah. If I call someone on the phone, hey, how you doing? Everything, we chat, we're good. I'm not going to be on the phone for hours.
No, I mean, I'm not like that either. Besides golfing, what do you do to stay active?
I work out quite a bit. Can I say Peloton? Love my Peloton workouts. I have a little trainer that comes to the house. I like to box, just in case somebody wants to start something, I'm ready. It's good cardio. I like to mix it up. I take walks, 56, but I can still jog a little run, walk, jog. But I like working out. It makes you feel good. It helps, I think, your mental health. If you feel good, physically, I think you're going to feel better mentally. But at my age, I must continue to stay active. And when I play golf a lot, I walk. I love walking. I think I play better. But I really enjoy working out. It's nothing like I work out like I was when I was in the NBA, or like Damian, Steph, or Seth, nothing like that. But I really enjoy a good sweat.
There's the troublemaker. What's he doing? And then what are the other hobbies that you do besides golfing?
Fish. I'm a big fisherman. Offshore, trout stream, golf. I still shoot basketball in the back. I can still put it in the hole a little bit. I love to get out and do that. That's it. It's pretty much simple guy. I love westerns. I'm into golfing, fishing, shooting some hoops, or I'm watching sporting on television. Not a lot of that going on. But the NBA is about to kick back up. But I love my westerns.
Every Saturday morning when I was growing up, westerns. I never got into them. I didn't understand.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Oh, man, so good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back and watch that.
What was the hardest thing? Okay, 2 more questions. I'll do this. Hardest thing about me getting married?
Oh gosh, that it just felt like I was going to lose you, and you love somebody else, another male just as much as me. I'm not going to say more. But having an only daughter, I remember walking you down the aisle. I'm like, man, this is for real. And even after I passed you over, I wanted to stand there. And the pastor's like, "You're done, Dad." I'm like, well, no, I'm not done. Not ever done. But I had to go sit down. But just knowing that someone else was in charge of you, was going to take care of you. And if there was ever a problem, that you were going to call your husband first. So that was the biggest thing.
It's true. I remember walking that, like, I've never felt so calm in my life before, except for my wedding day. I thought I was gonna be the hottest mess ever, like, but I woke up and I was like, okay, like, let's go. So knowing like I was super calm, and then even walking down the aisle, I was really calm. I had looked, we got to the front and I looked down because I saw Damien's shoes. He has shoes, he had his shoes made with Quavo and Novu's face on them. I'll put a picture here. And then I ended up looking up, and my pastor was crying, Damien was crying, and my dad was crying. And I was like, wait, what's going on? Why is everyone crying? What's going on here? But it was sweet though, because like, you know, you have your pastor who you've grown up with, like listening to up until I was 23 when I got married. So 0 to 23, I listened to Pastor Livingston. And then my dad obviously is my dad, and then Damien. So it was just like, it was a really special moment, but I was like, okay, everyone just needs to relax and calm down, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, last basketball question. What are your final thoughts on the bubble?
I like the bubble. I think it's as safe as it can be. I think players want to play, they want to have a champion crown. Obviously you didn't get to finish the season, and again, I texted one of my buddies in the front office of the NBA. I'm like, yo, can I come in the bubble? I want to be in the bubble. I think it would be great. I think it's a glorified AAU tournament.
That's true.
Everybody's in the same place.
It's in
You're playing.
Orlando.
Yeah, you're in Orlando. We've been there several times at Disney. Same gym, hotels. Everybody's going to be in. You're going to see each other. There's no way to get around it. There's no home court advantage. Everybody is playing with no fans. It's going to be intense, exciting, and fast-paced. So I can't wait to get it going. I know Seth's happy to be back on the court, playing a little bit. Again, he's a perfect bubble guy. As long as he's got his video,
He might thrive.
Yeah.
Y'all might see a whole, like, y'all thought Seth was good before. He's like, I ain't got nothing else to worry about.
I ain't got a Bade Carter. He can just get up, work out, get ready to get his basketball game right, get his video game right, get fish, golf. I've seen guys doing that.
And his family isn't far either.
Yeah,
his
right.
Mother-in-law lives in Orlando. So Callie and Carter are in Orlando with him. So I guess it's better than being in Dallas, even though they're not like in the bubble with him. So it's just nice to know, I'm sure for him, to know that they're just a little bit away.
I've FaceTimed him a couple times. We just finished the American Century Championship in Tahoe, and Seth was scheduled to be there with us. He couldn't. He wanted to. So the next day he played golf, and he put on Instagram, "I'm capturing my Tahoe spirit." And you golfers know who you are. It's talking about me and Steph, but I'm happy that Seth is happy again playing basketball, getting ready to play and get back with his teammates. So it's a fun time.
We're ready. Go Dallas. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you, or I'll see you in the next video.
She's the girl.